Are you sick of always seeing people around you have opportunities, have chances, do things that you wish you had the chance to do? Well, then you need to watch this video to see how you can be more opportunistic and create opportunities in your life. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. What is up, guys? Dr. Hunter Pinesett, the study doc, and I'm here, and today we're talking about opportunity and circumstance. And the reason we're talking about this today is because I got an email from a student, and it was long, and it was drawn out, and it was hate-filled towards me. Oh my gosh, the student hated me. And the reason the student hated me is because I went out, I had a keynote at a conference, and this student was in the audience, and as part of this keynote, I talked about how in the year, right, it's 2019, in this year, at this time, in this moment, there is nothing that anyone can't do. And what any one person can do, any one person can do. Anyone. We have to understand that. And I said this as part of my keynote, and there was a whole thing behind it. But the student sent me this long drawn out email about how my speech made her feel bad because she was. Let me get it right. Let me look here. I wrote down a couple of the things. Because she comes from a single mom household. Because she comes from where she comes is an underserved, right, area. She comes from the hood, right? Because she went to a small school after languishing at the community college, essentially, right? This is her. And so what she's saying is, listen, I'm a student of color from a single mom household, from the hood, who had to go to community college. Now I'm at a small school. I can't succeed. I can't have opportunities. They aren't there for me. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this or you feel that way. And I want to assure you that you are absolutely dead wrong. And I say this, and people trip off this, right? And they're like, oh, well, how can he say that? Because cats, characters, people, I am you. I was you. I was first generation. Neither one of my parents graduated college, guys. Neither one. Secondly, I was financially extremely disadvantaged. I had to live in a triple occupancy dorm, and even to do that, it was crazy to take out loans for that. We couldn't afford any of that stuff. I had to start a tutoring company to fund my college education. Even then, still, I took out tons of tens of thousands of dollars of loans to pay for my undergrad. I was at the time, what was considered like the baby UC school, which was UC Irvine. It was new, right? And it wasn't really like UCLA or Cal Berkeley, right? It wasn't on that level. So I understand what that is. I understand that situation. And in some ways, right, we all feel disadvantaged or slighted, or we don't have the same, we feel like we don't have something that someone else has. Right? We're always looking at other people's pots, right? The grass is always greener everywhere else. You guys have to recognize that although you may not, it's not where you start. It's not what you have. It's what you take possession of and what you create. And there's a great quote by Benjamin Disraeli. Man is not the creature of circumstances. Circumstances are the creatures of men. And for some of you guys who come from these backgrounds, we must understand they're called backgrounds for a reason. They are in the back, y'all, in the ground. We are rising up and forward. So whatever your circumstance is, if you want more, make more. You've got to figure out. You got to stop. That's why that's why I'm always telling you guys. The reason, right, my saying, my expression is no excuses, just dominate, is because that phrase got me to success. It got me to where I am today because I said to myself, I have all these reasons, as people will call them, but when I flipped them, I looked at them, I said, no, they're not reasons, they're excuses. I'm black. I'm first generation. I don't have the money. I don't have any mentors. I don't have any doctors in my family or in my life that I can look to. I don't. I had all these reasons, but really they were just excuses. They were roadblocks I put in front of myself to excuse and make myself want to give up and not give 100% effort and not think that I belonged and I was capable of having more or that I even deserved, which I struggle with a lot of disadvantaged students. You guys feel like you don't even deserve a chance, right? We talk about imposter syndrome. You feel like you don't even deserve a chance to have that happiness. And that's sad and that's unfortunate. But we have to recognize, we get past those excuses, all that, and we get to just dominating. And we say to ourselves, no matter what the excuse, no matter what the obstacle is, no matter what the reason, no matter what the lack of opportunity, or the craziness of a circumstance, I'm going to succeed, and not only succeed, I'm going to flat out dominate because I want it. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to create that situation. And I mentioned, right, and from a financial point, a lot of people talk about finances, so I want to tell this story because it's important. I said I come from a background where I'm financially limited. I recognized that for me to go to college, to be able to have the experiences I want to have, I needed money. So what I did, right, I recognized I didn't have the money. Scholarships take time and, they're up and down. I want to take control of it. So what did I do? I had a skill, right? Because I struggled in college. I learned how to make myself a great student. And I said, listen, I did that. I transformed myself. How about I get other people to pay me to transform them? And so in college, I started a tutoring company, tutoring junior high and high school students to help them become independent students. And I would tell parents, listen, your kid works with me for 3 to 6 months, they'll never need a tutor again. And it worked. I was doing that for students. And therefore, that allowed me to get the money to pay for college. That company, and doing that, and doing something I loved, but that I found a skill, and I said, people will pay me for this. So for you guys who are saying, listen, I don't have the financial resources, I know it's hard. It's not easy. I say that, right? Like, I just flip it out, I just started a tutoring company. It's not easy. No, it's hard. Right? I'll give you one example how hard it was. The way I got clients was that I would print out, I'd print them in bigger copies, but they come in boxes of 1,000. Like big stack boxes. And every week would be my objective to get rid of 1,000 business cards. And I would finish up at school and I would drive over to the local market. It was a Ralph's. I'll never forget it. It was a Ralph's right below. It was right next to, what is the neighborhood now called? I've been on Newport Beach for so long. I was at UC Irvine. I would drive over. It's the richer city next door, Newport Beach. And there was a Ralph's. And it was in East Bluff. That's the name of the community, East Bluff. You guys can Google it. East Bluff Ralph's. And I would go sit out that Ralph's. And there were 2 entrances. And I would sit out one of the entrances and I would hand out business cards. 1,000 of them. Every day after school, I would go hand out business cards, hand out business cards, hand out business cards. And after a while, people started knowing I was going to be there, so I started going to the opposite door. So what I would do, I would cut through, right? Because they had those sliding doors. I would cut through the sliding doors on my side and catch them before they went in the grocery store. That's what I would do. I was that persistent, right? And that sucks. Hang out after school, I got homework to do, but I did it. I would go to all kind of schools. I would sit out in the parking lot, and I got in trouble so many times. I would literally, if anyone asks you can't, whatever I say now is completely false. This cannot be used against me in the court of law. I would go to schools, and you know how sometimes you come out of your school and there's flyers under your windshield wiper? That was me. I would go there and put my cards underneath hundreds of cars, hoping that one person would pick it up and hire me. And I was able to build a business that way. There's a whole lot of other things that we talk about, but it's not easy. And I don't want you guys to think when I say no excuses, just dominate. You have no excuse not to dominate. I'm not saying that it's not hard. I'm not saying that it's not harder for other people, for some people. But what I'm telling you is that if my slow reading, academically incapable according to my counselor, no mentors, nobody in my family is doctors, nobody college graduates in my family, if I can succeed and get to Stanford, if I have students who come from families of immigrants, if I have students who come from families who are day laborers, field workers, if I have students who've gone from being homeless to getting into medical school, to succeeding in college, what I'm trying to explain to you guys is no matter what your circumstance is, yes, it may be awful and terrible and the worst. But if you're willing to work harder than everyone else, like I did, like some of my students have, if you're willing to work longer than everyone else, like I did, like some of my students did, and if you're willing to work different and smarter because you're starting behind, you can't do the same path. You got to blaze your own path and work differently to get at it. Be smart. If you're willing to do that, there's no reason you can't succeed at this current time in these here United States. And I say that as I'm sweating because it's that real, y'all, that we have to recognize the time for excuses is over. The time for domination is now. And for some of you guys who come from families where you are it, you guys know what I'm talking about? Where you're that pillar where everybody's like, oh yeah, he's going to make it out. She's going to make it out. She's going to uplift their whole family. Some of y'all got a whole neighborhood, a whole hood on your back waiting for you to succeed so you can bring them up. If you don't get there, if you don't stop making excuses and start dominating, you can't bring them up. And as part of that, right, if you are the chosen one, right, if you're the one, then you have got to step up and dominate. Because everyone is counting on you. You are the hope. And maybe when you succeed, you're the beacon that other students in your community look to. And I look at my students and the work they do to give back to that next generation like I'm giving back. And it's incredible and it's powerful. Because if you're someone who never made it out the hood and you're trying to tell people they can get out the hood, they don't believe that. What do you mean? You still live on the same corner you lived on forever. But if you can make it out and you can succeed in a big way, then imagine the power that has. Imagine yourself as a kid, what that would have done for you as a kid, for your belief. If you dominate now, you can be that for that next group. Like I'm trying to be for you right now, like I'm trying to tell you, you can get there. But we gotta stop the excuses and you gotta start recognizing you gotta work harder, longer, and smarter than everybody else or you ain't gonna succeed. It's the facts. You cannot succeed as a disadvantaged student. You cannot succeed as someone who's got obstacles to overcome if you're going to do the same old lackadaisical approach as all the people who got the advantages. You got to be a hustler. You got to be a grinder. You got to be in the mud, getting it. Nothing is too low for you. There's scraps on the ground. I'm picking them up and I'm eating them. It's mine. That's how you got to be. That's your mentality. No excuses. No obstacle is too big. Nothing. No opportunity is too small. I want it. Opportunity, I got it. I want it. I'm taking it. That's how you got to look at it, guys. That's how you dominate. So to this woman who sent me this email, I'm going to attach this video and send you a reply with this video in it. I hope you watch this video. I hope you make it to here and recognize I'm not coming down on you. I'm trying to lift you up. I'm not trying to push you back to where you've been. I don't need you to tell me where you've been. I need you to recognize it's not about where you've been, but it's about where you're about to go and where you can go. And if you don't even believe it, you can't wrap your head around it, you can't see it, you ain't never going to get there. So should I sit there when I give a keynote and I got 500, 600 students, all of color looking at me? Should I be like, hey, you darkies, because you're dark, statistically, you're likely to be disadvantaged. And because you're disadvantaged and you're dark, you can't make it. Would that make you feel better if I said that? Hey, listen, I know some of you guys come from single mothers, come from the hood, had to go to community college, or at a small school, feel like the world's against you. You're right, the world's against you, you can't succeed. Is that better? No. I'm trying to open your mind up to what it is and what it could be. And that fact that I recognize your journey and recognize that you got to get off your butt, stop making excuses, and start working. Because if you start doing that, you will dominate, you will succeed, you will go to the top. That's what it's about. And then as part of that, right, she even mentioned this email. She got mad at me. And I get this email from people. And then at the end of your keynote, you have the nerve to say, reach out to you and to sign up for your courses to get better. That's ridiculous. Is it? I'm sorry. So if I come out, I only have a 40-minute keynote. How can I change your life in 40 minutes? I can't. I can't change your life in this 13-minute video. But I can open your eyes. And some of you guys right now, right? Comment in the box below if your eyes are starting to open. If you're starting to see what I'm talking about and the possibilities of what your life could be. I can open your eyes in a video. And then once your eyes are open and you know when you're hungry and you're looking now for that knowledge and that way to get better, I say, come on and get a course. You're darn freaking right. Why? Because I'm not just leaving you fired up. I'm not just leaving you saying, oh, I could be great. I'm going to show you exactly how to be great. So it would be irresponsible of me to say, listen, you can be great. Go do it. Peace. I'm trying to tell you, listen, you can be great. And if you want that greatness, come here and get it. Get in with me. Take my 30+ hour study course. So you can be so informed. It's crazy. So you can learn to work hard and longer and love it and to work smart. So that way it's all fun, all joyous. You're efficient. You're effective. You're succeeding. And you are dominating. You are able to go back to your hood and say, listen, y'all, I'm killing it. Come get some. That's what it's about. So please, 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 this goes to everybody. Don't send me your hate mail saying that I said you have no reason to fail and that whatever you've been through doesn't matter. Because I understand it hurts. What you've been through hurts. What you've been through, where you come from, it's limiting in your mind. But the reality is we are not our circumstances, right? Our circumstances are the creatures of us. And it's how you view what you got going on. And some of you guys don't, and I'll leave it with this on a light note. This is the example. Some of you guys, and this is what happens. Some people got a fridge full of groceries. Don't know how to cook. Can't make nothing. Some of you guys, if I gave you a jar of peanut butter, 3 saltines, a can of tomato soup, you could make roast. You're like, what? How did you put those 3 ingredients in the oven and roast came out? You could make a meal out of anything. If you are the disadvantaged student, if you are the student who's got bad circumstances, you're in a bad place, whatever that is, you got to make souffle. And to do that, you got to work harder, longer, and you got to work smarter than everybody else. But that's the example, guys. Do we understand? All right? So, again, like I did with the keynote, if you're ready, if you want to be more than what you are, if you recognize, dang, I can dominate, and you want to dominate, get to my website, studenttransformation.com, studenttransformation.com, and get into a course where I can show you exactly how you can create the ideal circumstances, how you can create the life you want. That's what I do. So get over there and get that. Go in the description box, guys. Ebooks, trainings, webinars, courses, it's all there. Check it out. And I'll end. If you like this video, then like the video. Share this with someone who needs this message. Too many of y'all being selfish. Give it back to your hood. Give it back to your people who are struggling with the same things you're struggling with. Let them know. There's somebody out here who cares, who knows what they're going through, and can help them level up. Share it with them. Do we understand? You guys literally got me in here sweating today. I'm in here by myself sweating because of y'all. Got me fired up just thinking about this. Don't send me these ridiculous emails, y'all. Get better. Let's get it. We can do it. We can do it. You can do it. We can do it. You can do it. Go, go, go. Rah, rah, team, team. Yeah, all that, right? No excuses. Just dominate, y'all. Dr. Pinesett. I'm the study doc, and I'm out. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses. No more complaining. You're going to take your future in your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. Get to my website, studenttransformation.com. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better?